What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first of the home workouts for the youth. These workouts are designed they can be modified for athletes. So if you play sports and you are trying to stay in shape for when your season comes back, this is gonna be a really good way to do it. We're gonna do some things that are a little bit more high speed. One of the problems when you have a really long layoff is if you go right back into your sport and you haven't done anything at these really high speeds, you are more likely to pull muscles and things like that. So we want to make sure that we're keeping up with those things so that when that time comes and these things, everything normalizes, we can get back and we know we can be healthy. And also, if you just want to stay in shape or you just need to check the box because school's telling you to, these are also going to be workouts that are going to be engaging, they're going to be fun to do, and they're going to be things that any kids of any level or any age can benefit from. So first, what we're going to start with is something called a miniature A run. So all that means is we are going to take little quick steps and we are going to travel between 5 and 10 yards. So from here, we are going to make sure that we have some space, right? If we don't have space, I'm going to show you how to do this. So if we have some space where we can get outside, you want to imagine that you have a little rod sticking out of your ankle, all right? Now, what we're going to do is we are going to have quick feet and think about stepping over that rod as we get ourselves moving forward, all right? Now, some things we want to think about. We want our hands to be right in our pockets with our elbows at 90 degrees. So one of the things that we'll see is if we try to kind of karate chop here, we're going to run into a little bit of problem where we're like moving our arms way faster than we're moving our legs, and it kind of starts to feel funny. Instead, think about moving at the shoulder and just brushing those hands right past those pockets. So if I'm right there, I have that rod sticking out of my ankle, my hands are by my pockets, elbows at 90 degrees, and I'm just gonna lift those feet up, lift those feet up, lift those feet up, and good. So what I just did there, we call that first gear, right? First gear, we're just kind of getting loose, and we're going about maybe 70% effort. We're gonna bump that to second gear now, which is gonna be about a 90% effort, right? Second gear, a little faster, lifting those hands up, and bring those hands by those pockets, lifting those feet up. And lastly, we have third gear. Third gear, we're going as fast as we can, trying to get as many steps as we can, right? So if we have a little space, that's maybe, a couple feet, you want to try to get as many good steps as you can in a couple of feet. If you have 10 yards, perfect. About 10 yards is about what you're going to want to do for this, all right? Thinking like 40, 50, 60 steps in that 10-yard period. Now, what you want to be sure about is when you're doing that, nice and quiet. What I don't want to hear when we do these is this. We want to be quick with our feet. We also want to make sure we're stepping on over that rod. So, how many of these are we going to do? How much? If we have space, we are going to go roughly 10 yards or 30 feet. We can even go less than that if we need to, but you are going to go 10 times in first gear. You are then going to rest for a couple minutes. Then you'll go 10 times in second gear. So just going down, all right? I do my second gear. And then I'm just gonna walk backwards. As soon as you get back, you go again, 10 times. And then we're gonna go into third gear. We're gonna do that 10 times, 2 rounds. So what this looks like in total, 10 rounds, 10 times down at first gear, 10 times down second gear, 10 times down third gear, and then another 10 times down in third gear with like 2 or 3 minutes rest in between, okay? So if you don't have any space, you can actually do this in place as well. Right here, I have a resistance band. Now, you may not have a resistance band at home. If you have a rope or something like that, or a cable, that'll be good as well. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna wrap this around an anchoring point, okay? Any anchor point's gonna be fine, as long as it's not gonna fall over on you. We're gonna slide that bad boy around our hips, and we are going to work against that so it gives us a little forward lean. Same thing, just right in place. If you are doing that in place as opposed to going forward for distance, you are going to do that for roughly 15 seconds. 15 seconds with about 15 seconds rest. You can set a stopwatch on either your cell phone or look at the clock. 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 10 times. Again, 10 times first gear, rest. 10 times second gear, rest. 10 times third gear, rest. 10 times fourth gear, and done. All right? From there, we'll go into our strength training exercises. Our strength training exercises are going to be squats and push-ups. Listen, we're stuck at home. Squats and push-ups are going to be a lot of what we're doing over the next few weeks, all right? Good news is, those are 2 of the best exercises in the entire world, so we still can do those. So for our squats, we want to make sure that our feet are roughly shoulder width apart and your toes are slightly pointed out. I can't see my toes right there. Let's see where we are. Good. Slows, toes slightly pointed out. Now, when your toes are slightly pointed out, you got to make sure your knees are pointed slightly out as well so that they're facing the same direction as your toes. What we don't want is toes out with the knees folding in, okay? From there, you're going to reach your hands out in front of you. If you have a dumbbell or something you can hold, even like a carton of milk or a gallon of water, something that's a little bit heavy, you can hold your little brother if you want, right? Hold that right in front of you or hold it right here. If not, hands out in front is fine. We're gonna go all the way down as low as we can while keeping ourselves nice and tall. If we're facing this way and I start to hunch, we went too far. Think about staying tall, keep those heels on the ground. The only time a squat's a bad thing is when we are letting those heels come up off the ground, right? We got to push those heels through the ground the entire time, make sure that they're staying nice and firm. So we are going to do somewhere between 10 and 20 of those. If you're new to squats, you haven't done something like that before, do 10. If you have heavy weight, do 10. If you've done these before and you feel pretty good, do 20. All right? If you don't have any weight to use and you want to challenge yourself, do 20. Totally cool. We're going to do 20 of those. Next, we're going push-ups, okay? Now, if you have trouble with push-ups or you maybe can't do too many push-ups from the ground, totally cool. What you're gonna do, you're gonna find something that's elevated. You can do this on a chair in your house. You can do this up on your countertop if you need it a little bit higher. You can do it on a stair if you have some stairs or some extra elevation there. Put a couple of books up. Nope, there's no limit as to what we can do to make push-ups look good and have good form when doing them, and also challenging ourselves. So with our push-ups, our hands are gonna be directly over, or our shoulders are gonna be directly over our hands. We don't wanna be out here behind with our butt up in the sky. Walk forward. From there, I'm just bringing my chest down to wherever I am, and then I'm gonna straighten my arms at the top. When I get to the bottom of a push-up, my elbows are gonna be about 45 degrees. How do you know what that is? Imagine somebody came behind you and wanted to put their hand in your armpit. They should just be able to fit it in there, all right? So from there, that's how we know we're at a good spot. If I can fit 4 hands inside your armpits, no good. If I can't fit any hands inside your armpits, that's no good either, all right? So you can kind of play around with how wide you need to put your hands in order to do those correctly, all right? So you are going to do, again, between 10 and 20 reps, okay? You can do those on the ground, you can do them up higher, as long as your form looks perfect. And we are not here bringing our hips down this way and our elbows up, and not shooting our head down this way with our elbows real wide. We are in a straight line from our head to our toes, then your form's still good, all right? So I want every rep to be perfect. Better off doing it right than not doing it right and trying to get too many of them, okay? So how many times are we gonna do that? 3 to 5 rounds. Squats, 10 to 20, and then push-ups, 10 to 20. That's 1 round. Repeat 3 to 5 times. Rest as long as you need, okay? Now, we're gonna finish up with a core exercise, all right? So for our core exercise, we are going to just hold the longest plank that we can hold, okay? So when we do that, we are just going to get into our push-up position. Your arms are gonna be pretty tired at this point, and that's okay. This one we are gonna try to do on the ground, all right? So when we hold our plank, we are gonna be in a push-up position, all right? Hands underneath the shoulders, and making sure that our body is nice and straight. I don't want to see a butt curving up that way, and I don't want to see him dropping this way. You're going to hold that for as long as you can. You're going to time it, and you're going to record it. Every time we do a plank, we're just going to try to go a little bit longer and longer as we go along. All right? And lastly, we need to make sure we're going to be doing a lot of sitting around over the next couple of weeks. We don't want to lose our flexibility. We need to be stretching. So we're going to finish up with a nice, easy stretch. We're going to do something called an active hamstring stretch. So we're going to lie on our backs. We're going to put our hands behind our knees and straighten our leg out to stretch that hamstring. What this is going to look like. We are going to lie down. We are going to keep this left leg straight. Right knee's bent, hand behind the knee. Point the toe to the ceiling. This is your quad muscle. You are going to think about flexing your quad as hard as you can. And look, I can't straighten my leg all the way out, see? So I'm going to let it go a little bit. I'm going to keep it up as high as I can without letting my knee bend. So that may be out here for you, and that's okay. It's going to get better over the next couple of weeks. You go 10 times on your right leg, 10 times on your left leg. That is it. that is your first at-home workout for youth, kids, athletes. You can scale those things to be as challenging or as simple as you need them to be. Let me know if you have any questions. I am here to help. I know this is rough for everybody. This is a tough time. Use us. We can help you as much as we need to. Thanks.